Shout out Instagram. We are ready. Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Water Cooler. I do not have my lights on. I am still getting used to everything. Oh my goodness. Happy Friday. I am Sarah in Texas. I hope you're having an amazing day and you're ready to chat all the latest reality TV gossip. And of course, Jeff Lewis, live from my home state of Texas. Oh my goodness. Okay, today in Shout Out News, we're going to chat about Tom Sandoval's new podcast. We're going to talk about Britney Spears defending herself yet again. And if you believe it or not, I'm going to touch on a little bit of 90 Day Fiance. And of course, Bethenny Frankel's interview that she dropped. Did anyone know this was coming? Like, how did I not hear any rumblings about this? Did I miss this? If you hear rumblings about something and I miss it, please let me know, because I did not know that she was definitely going to interview Nene Leakes on her Just Be with Bethenny podcast. So anyway, shout out everybody. I hope you're having a great day. If you are coming or live in the LA area, I hope you are so excited to come to the Reality Bites event tomorrow. I will be at breakfast at Sightglass, so make sure you send me a DM on Instagram if you are. Also, we're chatting about it in the Facebook group, Jeff Lewis Obsessed, so make sure to join that. I think we're going to maybe go by Chaz Dean's salon, and I just heard he will be there. I've verified that. And I just heard that he'll be back on Jeff Lewis next week, so that's awesome. And at night, I think we're going to hit up High Tops, Schwartz and Sandy's, wherever. So if you live in the LA area and you don't already have your ticket, run, don't walk to realitybiteslive.com. Get your happy hour ticket for the evening, or get your brunch ticket for the afternoon, or get both like I have. And I will see you there for sure. Okay, let's get started real quick. I'm trying to get used to all these little things that I have now that I have this software for us. Okay. 90 Day Fiance, the other way. First of all, it is like a full-time job. So if you're not watching 90 Day Fiance, or you've kind of died out from all of them, I totally understand. They do a fantastic job of having spinoffs, adding these other shows. TLC knows exactly what to do to keep us like locked in on 90 Day Fiance. It is so addictive. I'm going to leave that up for you. Oh, I wanted to put my comments up. Yes, shout out. Anyway, so yesterday I'm watching the 90 Day Fiance the other way. This Sarper guy is cute, not my type, but he's cute, but he's disgusting. And even I didn't think it could get any grosser than when they showed his headboard that is literally rotting and falling apart. And all the people, I know we should be sex positive, like, Zach Noe Towers talks about, and Tinks, I think, talks about being sex positive. But it's disgusting. He's been with, I thought he said, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, like 20,000 women. I'm not even kidding. Like, really disgusting. He's like 40, maybe 41. So this girl, Shakina, I can't remember her name. She is coming over to live with him in Turkey, leaving her 15-year-old daughter at like a boarding school. She'll go back and forth to see her. And he weighs her yesterday. So he's a trainer and he wants her to be, I think her goal should be 128 pounds. By the way, she looks tall. Okay. So, that plays a factor in what your weight should be, right? She weighed and she was 132. And he basically is like, I want you to look your best and feel your best. Oh my God. There's so many red flags with that relationship. I don't even know. But on the good news, Armando and his husband, oh my God, I'm forgetting his name now, Kenny, who came from Florida to live in Mexico with his now husband, Armando, I think they've agreed to have another baby. So clearly they're two men. It won't come as easily as some other couples. So they will go through the IVF process. And Kenny is like 60 or 61, y'all. So tell me in comments what you think about that. I guess it's ageism and all that kind of stuff. But also you just have to think about, he's got like 4 grown adults, grown children that live in the US. And he's got, I think, 1 or 2 grandkids also that he's super close with. He made the decision to leave the US and go to Mexico and live with his now husband. But Armando wants a kid of theirs together. So I kind of understand that. But I really thought Kenny would never agree to it for obvious reasons. His age, the money, just his own kids and how they feel about that, because I don't really think they want him to go on and have other kids, especially now that he's not living in the US with them, right? So kind of interesting for sure. Oh, my comments. Okay. Hold on. Let me figure out what I'm doing here. Comments. Okay, I wanted my comments to be up. Let me take that off. Or should we leave that on? Shall I leave that banner on? Y'all tell me in comments if I should leave the banner on if you're not on Instagram or TikTok. Okay. Britney Spears puts out yet another post denying that the knives were real in her video. I'm not believing it for anything. For one thing, what is it? When you deny, it's probably true. So I feel like she keeps talking about this, and she basically said, you know, don't call the cops on me. There's nothing to be concerned about. Okay. But people are clearly concerned. And the sheriff's office said the reason they followed up and did this welfare check on you is because it was somebody in your inner circle. It wasn't a fan that called in and had them check on you, right? But when she claims the knives together, you can totally hear them. I don't think they make fake knives that claim to, they don't make fake metal knives. Like they would be hard plastic, maybe painted silver to look like plastic. To look like metal, but I don't think they would be real, right? Okay. Bethenny and Nene. I did not think I was going to listen. I woke up and I listened to almost all of it. It's a lot. First of all, there's 2 parts. Of course, Bethenny has made lots of videos for it. I'm assuming it will come out also as a full video podcast soon, but for now I had to listen to it on audio. Nene Leakes starts off, first of all, there was less commercials in this. So I was very happy for that. And you have the option to fast forward. So Just Be with Bethenny is her podcast. She had Nene Leakes on it at 2 parts so far. Wouldn't surprise me if she puts out more parts, right? Like she did with the Jill Zarin episode for sure. They didn't talk over each other as much. So I was very happy for that. Like I said, there was definitely less commercials, but you can fast forward through them pretty easily. It's a little uncomfortable. There's definitely, in the very beginning, Nene kind of wants credit, and I understand this. She wants credit for saying, hey, I've been talking about this reality reckoning thing for years. I'm even involved, and she calls it a complaint. She doesn't call it a lawsuit. She calls it a complaint that is ongoing, and she says, nobody would listen to me. Now they're listening to you. So she goes on throughout the entire thing. There's a lot of talk about race. One thing she says, and I made a reel of it, brown girls get in more trouble than you vanilla girls. And I don't even think Bethenny knew how to respond to that, right? When we don't have an experience that somebody else does in life, we certainly can't say that we understand exactly what they're talking about, right? But throughout the episode and the part 2 especially, Nene definitely goes into some specifics on a lot of the housewives that have done violence, thrown, ripped off people's hair, thrown glasses on the tables, cussed people out, and all this kind of stuff. And she says they never get in trouble. She pretty much claims that she's blackballed, blacklisted, whichever one it's called, where you can't work. She goes and lists all the acting things. So she basically says she started off as an actress. She wanted to be an actress. She had 2 boys, or 1 boy pretty early in life, and then another one. It was some good information that I didn't know before. I didn't know that her mom had given her and her brother up to her aunt and uncle, and they raised her in Athens, Georgia. So shout out Athens, Georgia. That's where one of my kids go to school. Gone to prison. Oh yeah, the son. Yeah, Alice. But I didn't know anything about her. So then she talks about meeting. She was in a lot of abusive relationships that she admits to. Very bad. Like some of them, she's like, I'm not even going to go into all the details because it was really bad. Then she meets Greg, who we all ended up knowing from Real Housewives of Atlanta. Of course, he's since passed away from cancer, which was really sad. But she talks about how it came about, how she was really trying to be an actress, and the whole reality thing just kind of fell in her lap. But when that kind of fell through and she felt like things weren't being fair with all of that, she went on to do Broadway, Cinderella, TV shows, all this stuff. So I felt like the fact that Greg passed away, even though they like divorced in between and split up with him, all this stuff, at the end, I felt like with the pandemic and less acting, you know, all the stuff about one of her sons is in the news. You know, I think he's back in prison for some issues. Also felt like the pandemic and losing Greg, I felt like that's why she wasn't working. She makes it very clear in this podcast interview with Bethenny that she feels like every time she would have a project going well and the talks and the works, she talks about a talk show, she talks about a podcast. She says all of a sudden it would disappear. And she says she knows exactly why. She definitely feels Bravo, maybe Andy Cohen, the producers, the executives, whatever. She feels very much that they are closing the door on all of her future projects. And she doesn't feel that happens to other Bravo housewives that have gotten in trouble or done even less worse things, as she would say, than she did. I love that they talked about they all want Andy's attention. It sort of made me think about, and they kind of alluded to like the Wizard of Oz type thing, or the Charlie's Angels, I think is what they alluded to. But they were talking about his baby shower. So Nene was one of the hostesses. I think it was Nene, Vicky Gunvalson. Oh, shoot. Who was one of the official hostesses? I don't remember. They said them all. But anyways, but they were talking about how everyone always wants his attention. It's always very exciting to be the person put next to him at a reunion. If you get asked to be on Watch What Happens Live, if you get to sit next to him at Watch What Happens Live, Kyle Richards, thank you so much. That's why I love interacting with y'all. Y'all answer my questions whenever I can't remember something. So thank you. And how everyone wants his attention. Nene and Bethenny have a couple of awkward moments in the video, in the interview. It's almost kind of like they didn't talk about things enough. And I felt like this happened with Bethenny and Jill Zarin also. There were some things I felt like they could have chatted a little bit about before they went on and did this interview. There was a couple of moments of that for me with Bethenny and Nene also. But they both feel like they have been his favorite at different times and how coveted it is to be Andy Cohen's favorite. But Bethenny talks about how she has felt over the years that she really has been somewhat of a personal, or felt closer as a friend to Andy Cohen. Like she's been invited to his Christmas parties. And Nene is like, no, I don't consider him a friend. Any of my friends, I've been to their houses. I talk to them on a regular basis. I think both of them agree. They mostly talk to Andy Cohen about them being on the Housewives, them coming back on the Housewives, any Housewives projects, things like that. So to me, I feel like they're colleagues, which makes me think, of course, of Jameson. But I thought it was good. Nene definitely feels like she had a very different experience because of her skin color. She feels like made her not treated equally. So I don't know what's going to happen with this complaint that she has. I think I have 20 more minutes to listen to it. So maybe at the ending, they explained a little bit more. But she says she can't work at all. So Bethenny then asks her, well, what, you've got a manager probably, you've got an agent probably, all this is kind of normal stuff in the acting world. And she's like, well, what are they saying? What are their reasons they give you? Like if you go on audition, because my family and I used to do this, if you go on audition, sometimes your agent would tell you, oh, they didn't end up choosing a mom 50 years old. They chose a mom that was 20. So that's why you weren't picked. Most of the time, they don't give you a reason at all. But Bethenny almost seemed to not relate or not understand or not even believe maybe that she was blacklisted by Bravo and the producers. She almost felt like, or it seemed like to me, go listen to it for yourself to gather your own, thing, your own thoughts on it. It seemed to me, though, as if she was saying, what is your management team telling you? What are they saying the reasons you're not getting jobs or the reasons you're not booking anything or auditions? I don't remember Nene having a real solid excuse or reason. She was just like, I don't know. I would have the question for my agent or my manager, though, for sure. Like, why am I not getting work? Because, if they agreed to represent her, they think that they've got a market for her. They think there's some interest in her because nobody wants to put the time and money into a celebrity or an actor if they don't feel like they can make money off of it, because clearly that's what it's all about, to make money. Anyway, so we'll see what happens with that. Like I said, I'm sure it'll end up being another part. I don't know if I can listen to it again. I did think it was really good though, so take a listen to it. It was better than I expected. I learned some stuff about Nene that I certainly didn't know, and I thought it was a really good. Is this straight? Why do I feel like the camera is like sideways? Okay, I'm going to get it together, y'all. I'm dealing with a phone, an iPad, a webcam. Okay. Don't forget at the very end, I do kind of miss some of your comments, but at the very end, I do go through questions. So make sure you save them till the very end and repost them there. I love that y'all chat amongst yourselves and tell me what you think of the show. Tell me what you think of all the shout out news and everything. It is so fun to join live and do chat together. We do this every weekday at 12 o'clock Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. And then, of course, the replay goes up immediately. Okay, another podcast that we didn't know about, or I didn't know about at all until yesterday, and it already aired episode 1. Everybody Loves Tom. I mean, do we though? It's a very confident name. I'm here for it. If Tom Sandoval has anything going for him, it is definitely confidence. He's doing it with his bandmate, who is like the guitarist. So don't forget, my friends and I made plans to go see Tom Sandoval and the Most Extras when his band came to Houston in May. We had these plans for a couple of months, about a month before Sandoval broke. And we still went. Of course we did. I was front row. He was practically sweating on me. I think he did at one point. I took so many pictures, posted about it. Somehow Ariana ended up blocking me. I'm like, why did you block me, Ariana? I guess at the time it was too much. And it was probably coming up in her feed a lot. Then Tom Sandoval ends up blocking me. Now him, I really don't understand. I'm like, dude, I took so much crap in comments on social media for posting these videos. I definitely had so much fun at the concert. A lot of us had fun. He's actually entertaining, y'all. And I'm not going to say again, his abs are insane. Okay. So he was definitely putting in the work. He was definitely hot, everything. I don't know why he blocked me though. It really pisses me off. But the podcast is up as a podcast and it's also on YouTube. The little promo video, I guess they made yesterday, I thought was actually funny. He's like taking off his shirt and he's got like a microphone in front of him. And the guy's like, hey, Tom, this is a podcast. Like nobody's going to see this. And he was like, oh, okay. But we actually do because it's up on YouTube. So I'm here for it. I don't love the set. So even if you haven't listened, even if you haven't popped over, take a second later today, go over to YouTube, look at Everybody Loves Tom. Just tell me what you think about the set. I'm curious because I don't love it. I think it needs a touch, but also he's not drinking. So assuming that he's not drinking or smoking, like he says now, also, it's got like a whole tray of alcohol in it. So I'm like, why do you have, it's a cheap mess, someone says. Yeah, I don't love it. It seems dark. He does have a plant, so he's got that going for him. I think he had a lamp, which is always good. I keep meaning to light my Chaz Dean candle, and I keep forgetting to light it again. Sorry about that. It smells so good. By the way, if you're in LA area, I will be seeing Chaz Dean tomorrow at his salon. I've already DM'd with him. He is going to be there, so I'm going to get to meet him again tomorrow, so I cannot wait. Okay. Apparently he's going to have a Patreon. He is going to recap season 11 of Vanderpump Rules. Do we even want him to do this? Is anyone going to watch? Is anyone, tell me if you have the balls, tell me if you have signed up for his Patreon. I'm dying. If you've got the balls to admit that, I am here for it. And I want to be your bestie because you have got some big balls. So he doesn't say exactly. He had some guy that was on from Bling Network, which I have, or Bling Empire. I'm sorry. I don't even remember the guy. And I watched both seasons of Bling Empire. I didn't even remember who he was. Did y'all? I guess he does jewelry. And you know, we know Tom loves jewelry. He does talk about some really sad things. So I am proud of him that he's not drinking. He's not chain smoking. He's just working out like he was. But he does mention some really sad things about trying to, you know, maybe hurt himself. I think there's a lot of things we can't say on social media, so I don't want to say things. But anyways, let me know if you're listening or not to Everybody Loves Tom, because he definitely loves himself. Okay, let's get into today's show. Jeff is in my state. He's in Texas. So if you didn't catch my Instagram story yesterday, Lea Black, his really good friend, made a post, and I commented under there, "Oh, I love when y'all come to Texas, but I wish he would explain why he comes to Texas. He never says why." So she answers back to me and says, "Jeff Lewis obsessed. It's really not that much of a secret. I come into Dallas because I have a house there and family to visit them, and he just comes to meet me halfway." So that's all it is. They just love going to that restaurant, Nick and Sam's. They talked about it again last night. They didn't talk about the free caviar. Has anyone ever gone, if you live in Dallas or you've been there before, do they really give free caviar to everybody? Or is it Jeff just thinking that they're like flirting with him? Remember the guy in New York, the coffee cart guy that would like give him a banana and stuff, and he always thought he was flirting. And then I think it's Nicole Ryan from the series, the Hits One show, that's like, dude, he's not flirting with you. Like, he likes it. He's nice to everybody. It's kind of fun. Oh, Jeannie says I met hate listen. I love that. There's nothing better than hate listening to something. Oh, thank you for buying a badge. I really appreciate it on Instagram. Thank you. Somebody DM'd me last night and said, "Hey, I'm new to the Jeff Lewis Facebook groups. I didn't realize so many of them can't stand him." And I said, "Yeah, that's why I started Jeff Lewis Obsessed, because there's uh, a lot of people that just love to spend their time, I guess, hate listening to Jeff Lewis. I don't have the time for that. Clearly, if you hate somebody that much, this is going to drive me nuts to not be straight. I'm trying to make the iPad straight, but also the webcam straight. Y'all tell me in comments if it's straight. Is it straight or just the hair off? I think that's better, right? By the way, if you were listening yesterday, I know Chef Stu came on Instagram and Doug Buden came on, and everyone on YouTube was like, "I can't hear them." I tried to promote it because when somebody comes on my Instagram, whether it's a surprise or not, it's not going to be on it's not going to be on TikTok and YouTube and Twitter and Facebook group and Facebook page. So you're going to hear their audio, but not as well. So go and take a listen to that. Go watch it on my Instagram at Jeff Lewis Obsessed. It's either up as a story or it will always stay up in my feed. There's a series called Reality Water Cooler, so you can also look there. Looking good over here on Facebook. Thank you for letting me know. Shout out Facebook. Jeff Schumer's is just very, very dry. He's an acquired taste. Oh my God, is he not an acquired taste? That's why I think chumpettes love each other, because I think if you're a Jeff Lewis fan, you're probably a very similar personality. You probably are, crude. We can listen to crude jokes. We can accept that people aren't perfect. I think we all love his stories. We love how personal he is, how much he gives of himself. Do we all think he's perfect though? No. I mean, oh my God, I cringe at some of the stuff that he says and does. And we're going to chat about that in just a second. Okay, so today was Lea Black, his really good friend, and her really good friend, Ronnie from Watch What Crappens podcast. So I have a friend, Yvette, that will be at BravoCon with me. She is a huge Watch What Crappens fan. So I had never heard of them last year. I think it was May 2022. So she went with me to see Sonia Morgan live in Houston. That was a trip. And then I went with her to see Ronnie and Ben at Watch What Crappens live. So they didn't really have any questions or Q&A. It personally wasn't my favorite live show, but they are huge. Their impersonations are so funny. Ronnie really grew on me tonight. I don't think I had given their podcast enough time, and he really grew on me. So he was really funny, and he lives in Austin, so just a few hours from me now. I think Ben lives in LA, so they must do this. And then he says they go and do live shows about 4 months out of the year, which is a lot, right? So I remember when they came, I was following them on Instagram and all their stories, and they were going to Buc-ee's and stuff. It was really funny. Oh my God, I love that. Morgan Denisa. Chumpettes are also kind and nice. They are. I love that so much. And that is the best compliment ever. When people tell me how warm and welcoming this show and all the chumpettes make them feel, that really is the best compliment ever, because all humans are looking for in life are people that they can relate to, people that they have things in common with. And I really think the Chumpettes are just an awesome group of Jeff Lewis Live listeners, right? And the fact that we love other podcasts and other reality TV shows and BravoCon, pure bonus. But I definitely love chatting Jeff Lewis with y'all. Okay, so Watch What Crappens Live podcast has been around 12 years. Does anyone remember when Jeff said that he and some of the chumps were invited to go, I guess, on stage to one of these live Watch What Crappens podcasts? Well, of course, he was bitching and moaning about it. And now Ronnie says they even have a Jeff Lewis clause in there, which basically means we know these Bravo celebrities are super narcissistic. They don't have the time. They don't have the patience to wait and come out later. 2017, someone says. Okay, thank you. So we actually bring the Bravo celebrities on first, which there was nobody in Houston. I would have died if there would have been. That would have been great. Pure bonus. But now we bring them out, get them out, and then they're done, right? So I kind of like that for sure. Okay. I don't even know how to talk about this without getting in trouble. They might be bleeping out everything. So if I talk in code, you're going to know why. Okay. So we're going to talk about what Maria, the newish housekeeper, took on accident yesterday as accidental Halloween candy. So for a very big hint, Tamra Judge and her husband Eddie have this company called Vena CBD, and they give Jeff these little packages of it. So they had packaged it up in these little 4-packs, so he could easily bring them, probably as almost like a sample to his co-hosts and the chumps, obviously to promote Vena CBD, right? I can't even talk about this. Was thinking about the weird Vena CBD commercial that Jeff and Shane did. It was mostly Jeff. If you have not seen it, search. It's probably under Vena CBD's Instagram account. I don't love it. I thought it was super weird. He's in a nightcap. I don't know. I thought it was super weird. Okay, but go check that out for sure. So Maria's the housekeeper. Shane gets a package of the CBD gummies. And I guess it was like, it's melatonin, it's CBD. Is it also THC? It's 3 different things, right? Yeah, Lady Grace says, run and watch this commercial. It's hilarious. It's interesting. I thought it was odd. It's interesting for sure. Anyways, Margaret says, I love the commercial. Michael Riley says, not a good commercial. Exactly. So we all have different opinions on it. And that is why I love us, because we can always have different opinions and feel good about sharing it with us for sure. Vena has chocolate? Wait, how did I not know that? Okay, so let's get into this Maria thing. So he sort of blames Shane for leaving it on the front entry of the house. And then he, of course, blames Stu, because why would you not blame Stu? Of course, he's always going to blame Stu if there's an opportunity, right? Stu, she says, oh, what is this? And he goes, oh, yeah, can I have some? And he says, yeah, take as many as you want, without telling her what it was. So then she thinks it's Halloween candy and eats 4 of these. I think it was the lights out version. No, what was it? It was one of the even stronger ones. It was one of the ones that I think they actually only eat half of normally. But it looked like candy. Of course, I'm sure, I haven't had a chance to look, but I'm sure the comments under Jeff's Instagram are all about, like, or, for the haters, are all about, what if Monroe would have gotten into that? He doesn't even have her until tomorrow, he said. So it was safely away from her. No other kids come to his house, so it wasn't going to be there at all. Yeah, somebody said, I think it was the lights out one. But she's throwing up, she's loopy, she's laying in the bed. I mean, no work was coming out of that lady yesterday for sure. I'm assuming she still got paid, but I can imagine Kian. Kian is like the sweetest. I have met him twice now. He is so sweet. Like, if there's ever a Mary F, K, Kian should always be chosen as the Mary person. Like, he seems so sweet, so level-headed, so thoughtful. But I can imagine, oh my God, something is wrong with her. I'm at the house. Shane and Jeff are now in Dallas, or maybe they were on their way to Dallas. I don't even remember. And oh my God, Rebecca, Oh my God, I just thought about that. This is all fuel for Gage. Oh my God, I didn't even think about Gage hearing this. And they even teased today because Ben said, Ronnie said, he was talking about Gage with the show they did in 2017. And then Jeff said, oh yeah, shout out Gage. He listens every day. Yes, she ate 4 of them. 4. Oh my God, Gage will use this incident. You're not wrong. Wow. I just thought about that. Oh my God, y'all. Okay. Well, let's move on to something else then. Oh my God. Okay. Monroe is going to start fencing lessons tomorrow. I think it's so cute. I don't even know anyone that does fencing. Like growing up, I never really heard of it as a sport. To me, it's just something you always saw in like the movies or something, right? Like TV shows. Like no one I ever know says, oh, my kids do fencing, or do you want to do like that wasn't offered at our school. Let me know if it's common where y'all live. Is it a more of an area thing? Like a lot more people up north have hockey teams at a high school versus down south. Like we don't have a hockey team at my kids' high school. Somebody says they don't think she'll like it. I kind of wonder what activities she's started on and done. Like they don't really talk about, I mean, she's almost 7, y'all. By the time my kids were, our oldest kid did everything because we didn't have 5 kids to spread our time with at the time, right? But by the time our oldest was like 4, she had done bowling, a bowling league. She had her own Hello Kitty bowling ball. It was so cute. She had done ice skating lessons. She had an ice skating party at 4. She had done soccer by then. What else had she done by 4? Everything. I don't really hear Jeff tell us about what like activities she does. I almost think he doesn't, and it's got to be stressful because, Gage has her part-time, he has her part-time. I think they have to figure out, didn't they talk about LA Sisters Closet? Monroe should play a team sport. He talked about tennis a while back, but then they never really went into it. I feel like Monroe, God bless her, I feel like she's going to be the kind of kid that like does something once or twice and says, I'm done with that, daddy. I don't want to do that anymore, right? And he's going to be okay with it. Were you that kind of parent? Are you that kind of parent? Or you're like, I paid for this for 8 weeks of soccer. You're going to finish it out. Or you signed up to be in this theater production. You are going to finish it until the show. You may never have to do it again, but I feel like you need to finish it out. I feel like Gage would make her finish things and Jeff wouldn't. And that's probably going to cause them co-parenting stress until she's at least 18 years old, right? Yeah, Lady Grace says make a commitment and stick it out. Oh my gosh. Krista says Monroe needs, oh, hold on, let me get this off. Banners. Comments. Okay, I'm trying to get that up. Oh, I forgot where it went. Anyways, Krista says Monroe needs to be involved with kids. And I've talked about that before, like her having play dates. He also doesn't really, he talks about, him wanting to have play dates with the other parents, the other moms, the cool moms, but it's a fine line. And Krista kind of mentioned this yesterday. You got to find where you're really liking the mom or dad and the kids really like each other. And it gets to a point around 7-ish for sure, first grade, where kids start having an opinion like, I don't really like that kid, or they're really mean to me, or they don't like this and I want to play this. Well, if they're not getting along good, it's good. Well, it's not even a fun play date for the parents, right? Like it's kind of lame. Oh, Melanie says, I wish Jeff would put her in dance or something with other little girls. And I think, clearly his brother Todd, Quinn plays soccer and she's really into that. I know Jeff did swimming growing up. So I think they're a very athletic family. So I'm kind of surprised. I don't think he wants to hassle with it. And I know that doesn't sound great as a dad in a great light for him. I think it's got to be extremely stressful to deal with, practice that are on like Tuesday and Friday, and then the games are on Saturdays. Well, part of that, Gage is going to have her. So he's got to make sure Gage is going to take her. So then they've got to agree on this activity. And I think that's what the court case is part of coming up in October. y'all don't forget they're going back to court. And a lot of these issues are what it is of them, one, not being able to decide the other person's time, how they spend it. Well, with activities, I've heard of my friends themselves where they sign their kid up for an event, football, and the other parent won't take them to the practice or the games on the nights that they have them because either they can't, they don't agree with it, or they're just spiteful and they don't want to. And as bad as Gage and Jeff are getting along lately, I mean, they're definitely not going to agree, right? Yes, Beck said, aren't you leaving soon? I am waking up at 3:40 in the morning tomorrow. I've picked my outfits. I don't love them. I won't lie. The rain, the chilliness, my feet, my bunions, trying to be comfortable, but trying to look cute. If I had it my way, y'all, I promise you, I would show up at this brunch and happy hour event in like Nike shirt and Nike pants, like literally in a ponytail, but I'm not. So I will tell you what I'm wearing just in case anyone else is wondering or what they're going to wear. My daytime is like a long sleeved dress that comes to my knees. It's kind of mostly red with some floral in it, a little bit of a fall. And then I'm going to go wish me luck at DSW or somewhere for like brown tan booties, because I didn't really know what shoes to wear with this. And my friend said, not my black booties. Tomorrow night, I'm going to change into, those fake leather, like Spanx, but I have this other brand from Amazon called like Commando or something, but like the fake leather leggings, they're not going to look great, but whatever. I have that. And then I'm wearing basically the same outfit, this plum tank top jumpsuit, or a one piece, I guess it's called, with this silver sequin blazer that I wore to Watch What Happens live. I think I wore it somewhere else and now I can't think. I probably wore it to BravoCon last year too. I mean, trust me, I am not the kind of girl that on a girls trip, maybe I took it to Las Vegas. Maybe it's a Las Vegas type. I mean, a silver sequin blazer, but that is not me. It is not something I would normally wear. So it's kind of a special treat, but I really didn't know what to wear. And I don't want to be overdressed and I don't want to be underdressed. But most importantly, I want to be comfortable. Because if I am not comfortable in what I'm wearing, I'm just going to be a blob and, I'm going to take my shoes off and be miserable. So anyways, yes, Sherry, I cannot wait to meet you. Don't get new shoes. I'll regret it. Oh my God, you're right. Oh shit. Then what am I going to wear? I don't even know what I usually wear with this dress. I haven't worn it very much. Oh my God. Thank you, Tanya. I hope you have a blast. Looking forward to hearing it all. And make sure you're following me on Instagram, especially because I just feel like it's way easier. And once I'm done, I will put it as a highlight reel at the top of my Instagram. There's a lot of highlight reels there now of, cute sneaker. You know what? I totally might do that. Lisa, I think you just saved me money, time, and comfort. So I've got some of those fake, what's those expensive shoes my daughter has? Golden Goose. Ugh. So I have a cheaper version of that. And I think I'm going to put those shoes with it for the brunch. Oh my God. Thank you, Lisa. Y'all are the best. Yes. Leggings are great, and boots, long shirts. Yeah. I had this pink shirt. Shout out to my friend, Besham, I'll just say, it's a fake name, who was coordinating my outfits for me on the phone earlier with me. Okay, what else? Jill Zarin. God bless her. This sounded the most Jill Zarin thing ever. So when she heard, and she follows me, so maybe she was looking at my stories. So I posted the other day that Erin Leakes is announced she's going to be back on Jeff Lewis Live when he's there next Thursday and Friday. So don't forget, he's going to fly out there to do this like 1 hour lunch or dinner. I think it's Kate Bosworth that's on his Hollywood Housewives season 2. He is not saying, but he keeps talking about how committed he is to Hollywood Housewives. So I'm pretty sure Amazon is super happy with him. But he does get to use the New York studios, the Sirius XM. He gets to have a housewife on. So Jill Zarin catches word that Erin Leakes is going to be on, and she is texting Shane, why isn't he inviting me to be on? I am in New York. And he's like, you live in Boca Raton now. And she's like, I know, but it's so expensive for me to fly from, Florida or New York out to LA. I don't know. It just sounded super Jill. I love Jill. I think she's great on reality TV. I think she's a great business person, very supportive. I love her friendship with her and Patty Stanger. I love her and Allie's relationship. But it just sounded very Jill Zarin, and I was here for it for sure. If you're in Dallas, were any of you the chumps at the roundup last night? Any of y'all coming up to Shane and Ronnie and acting like you didn't know who Shane was? So I have never, so Dallas is about, I'm just south of Houston. So Dallas is about 4 to 4.5 hours from me. So I have never driven up there whenever he was going to come to Dallas, but he makes it very clear when he's there. You pretty much know what restaurant he's going to, that Nick and Sam's, and you pretty much know they're going to the roundup. But Shane even told us the other day, oh, I'll be at the roundup. So he wants people to come up to him. I think he loves it. So if you're ever nervous about it, come up to them. I really think they love it. And they really don't make you feel awkward. They really, especially whenever they've told you where they're going to be, they're kind of expecting for chumps to come up to them, right? But even if they're not, they're so famous now that people just come up to them all the time, right? Okay, real quick, and then we're going to get into any questions that you have. Yes, Melanie, he did verify that it was Kate Bosworth earlier in the week. Okay, the after show was Pol and Patrick. They are doing tons of Armenian coffee readings. They're even going to be in their studio at their boutique tomorrow, Pola 2 in West Hollywood in Beverly Hills. If I get the chance, I think I'm going to contact Patrick and see if I can pop in and say hi to them. That would be super awesome. A lot of the after show is about accidental taking of the Vena CBD type products that they talked about a lot on the Jeff Lewis show. They also joked about it being Filter Friday, which I love. And then Shoot Up Sunday is because they're both on Ozempic. They are so small. They're so tiny. But Patrick is super tall. Pol is super short. Patrick says he had to borrow Pol's jeans today because he's too small for his own jeans. Like, I don't even know. I need to go back and look and see if they showed the bottom of those. Because even Alyssa was teasing them. You're going to look like you're wearing capris. Would you get a reading? No. Okay, so y'all put in comments any questions you have. It can pretty much be anything. I may not answer them all, but it'll pretty much be anything. Okay, also tonight's Chump Happy Hour is a replay, but it's a really good one. Like Jameson, Megan, Jeff, Shane. It'll be so good. 5 o'clock Pacific on channel 789. Yes, Krista says Jeff likes to be recognized. He really does. He really does. And he's so whatever. Oh, wait. Who is this? Lady, answer me. Well, what's your question? Clearly I missed it. Oh yeah, if I get a coffee reading, I will definitely post about it. They do it, if I do it live with them in LA, or if I do it at BravoCon. I think they said, what day are they doing it? They're doing it at BravoCon somewhere. Shout out TikTok. So let me know if you plan to get one. If you've had one, are you going to do it? Or are you going to tell me about it? A lot of you DM me and tell me it was really good. They were really nice. So I love it. But most people clearly don't live in the LA area, so they're doing it all virtually. But even Peppermill Joe called in. Remember the guy that Doug went on a date with? And he's going to see them, I think, tomorrow. No, in a week or two. I can't remember when it was. Katie wrote, I would love if you went live during a coffee reading. Oh, yeah. I mean, what if they told me some really bad news, though, and I start sobbing? Oh, that'd be crazy. What is ski mask? I have no idea what y'all are talking about. I don't know what y'all are talking about. I don't even know what ski mask is. Oh, okay. Ignore a troll. A troll. Shout out trolls. Anyways, okay. Well, let me know. Dude, I did not talk about the clam lady. Do y'all want to talk about this account coming back? So about a month or two, there was some Instagram account called, what was it? Like Moist Clam something, and they were commenting on my Instagrams. They were coming on my Instagram lives. They were commenting on my videos, my reels. They were commenting on Jeff's coffee pictures. And then they changed the name to like Miranda's Clam 2.0 or something. And they like went away and then it came back. Everyone was saying it was Brandy and Julie. I'm like, there's no way they make time for that. Like that was all around the time they were kind of fired from Sirius XM. It was kind of crazy. Somebody confirmed that Todd was Miranda Clam. I don't know, because she's got all these videos. She talks about loving prunes and oatmeal or something. Then somebody posted that she passed away, which was really suspicious, right? Because right when someone passes away, I don't think the first thing you do is log into their Instagram. Most people don't even have their loved ones' Instagram passwords. So I don't think the first thing you think is, oh, I'm going to log into Miranda's Instagram and let people know that she passed away. But now she's back and it's called something else. I forget what it is. So anyways, I don't know if she's joined us live or not. Anyways, well, thanks. Speaking of live, thank you so much for joining live. It is so much fun to chat with y'all every day about all the latest reality TV gossip. And of course, Jeff Lewis. If you missed the live and you want to see the beginning, it is available everywhere, all social media, even as a podcast, Apple, Spotify, Amazon, iHeartRadio. Everything is under Jeff Lewis Obsessed. The only one that doesn't go up on a replay, shout out, is TikTok. But everything else, and we start at 12 o'clock Pacific, 3 o'clock Eastern every weekday. So make plans to join live because I promise you it's way more fun. Bye, Chumpettes. Bye, TikTok. My cousin was the one Jameson married? Wait, what?